The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Tonight against Utah, the Knicks began the game on a 23-0 run. Mikal Bridges, 10 points in the first quarter. Deuce McBride goes 7 of 10 from downtown. He's now 27 for his last 42 from downtown. And the Knicks score is season high, 146 points, and beat the Jazz 146-112. Great to have you with us. We got one record after another another. Great to have you with us. Bill Pidto along with Wally Szczerbiak. And the thing about this, a lot of times in the NBA, you got to run back the other way, especially the last couple of games. Knicks have had great first quarters, and the other team has gotten back into the game. Not tonight. This was a blowout from the opening tip to the final buzzer.
They demoralized the Jazz immediately with that 23-0 start. Then it started getting the Jazz head. When were they ever going to make their first shot? Just the way the Knicks are flowing on the offensive end of the floor, this is exactly what Mike Brown envisioned when he wanted a little bit more pace. He wanted a spread, wide-open offense where anyone could knock down shots at any times. And right now, the Knicks are hard to prepare for. This Jazz team was on a back-to-back. They beat the Nets last night, and they just were never in this ball game, thanks to the play mostly of the Knicks, because that's a decent team. They're 8-14 now. They can score the basketball. They normally move the ball very well offensively, but the Knicks defense just locked them up to start the game.
OG Anunoby back after a 9-game absence from the bad hamstring. The Knicks went 6-3, so he's back starting. Josh Hart stayed as a starter. Deuce McBride off the bench, and it was a magical formula that could really help this team as it continues to evolve here in the first year under Mike Brown. The 23-0 start is the best ever in the history of the NBA in the play-by-play era, which dates back to 96-97. Tonight's thrilling moment is brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. 23-0. How'd they do it?
It was just impressive to watch. It really was. I really like Josh Hart in this starting lineup now with OG Anunoby. That is a potent lineup. Good sides at every single position. Cat's comfortable playing his 5 spot and just dominating. Mikal Bridges is playing such outstanding basketball. The defense on Lauri Markkanen to start that game was stifling. He couldn't get anything going at all. And then Deuce coming off the bench. What a great role for him to come off the bench, play defense like he always does. He's going to get major minutes because he can play with the starters also, so Mike Brown can leave him out there with the starters. But look at the rebounding, look at the effort. And then when you just get stops, you just have a team that's on their heels trying to stop you. And Jalen Brunson, 6 for 9. I think he figured out his three-point shot that he's been struggling with a little bit the last few games because he was an absolute flamethrower like Deuce McBride.
Brunson with 33. He came into this game only 3 for his last 19 from 3. All right, so they started the play-by-play era in 96-97. I mentioned the 23-0 run to start the game. That's the best run ever to start a game in the history of the league. The Knicks up by 28 at the end of first quarter. Largest point differential by the Knicks after the first quarter. They also scored 47 points in the third quarter. That's the best third quarter they've ever had in franchise history. Here now with Jordan Clarkson. Jordan, thanks for stopping by. 16 points against your former team. What was that like for you?
It was good. It was great to see everybody from that organization. But, you know, it's about us coming out here just trying to get a win, compete, and, you know, work on ourselves and, you know, protect the home court.
A lot of times you guys get a big lead, teams in the NBA get a huge lead, and there's pushback from the other side. There was no pushback at all. How did you prevent Utah from getting back into this game in any fashion at all?
We just kept focusing on ourselves defensively and then offensively. We wanted to move the ball, continue to play our way, our style of basketball, and, you know, keep their foot on their neck, so we kept going.
Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Thank you, boss.
All right, Wally, so you had 22 from McBride off the bench tonight, and Clarkson 16 off the bench. They get that consistently off the bench. That would be obviously fantastic.
Yeah, a phenomenal performance against his old team. A lot of hugs, a lot of hellos for Jordan Clarkson, but it was all business. And the Knicks really took it to his old squad, the Utah Jazz, and he's in a good place here with the Knicks on a championship contender. He was brought in to do exactly what he did tonight, get buckets, shoot the 3, and with OG Anunoby back in the lineup, everyone's role is starting to fit absolutely perfectly. Jordan Clarkson really comfortable coming in off that bench and getting buckets like he did tonight.
That's the first time Anunoby and Hart have been in the starting lineup this year. At the same time, of course, that was how it worked out last year. Monica McNutt helped call the game, as always, on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, tough to keep track of all the records and numbers, etc. tonight. Just a phenomenal offensive performance.
Agreed, Pidto. I think E for efficiency is the letter grade for tonight. I mean, all around, you know I love when this team shoots the three ball well. 50% from the three-point line, 56% from the field. I heard you talking about that third quarter outburst. I agree with the question that you asked Jordan Clarkson in terms of being able to maintain this margin throughout the course of the game, which was really impressive.
Yeah, Deuce was awesome. I mean, he's just, whatever role he plays, Monica, it seems like he just embraces the role that Mike Brown gives him. If he needs to start and guard an elite two guard, he'll go out and do it. If he needs to come off the bench, knock down shots, he'll do it. And you can really see, I think, that Mike Brown is getting comfortable with where guys want to get their minutes and who guys are comfortable out there playing with. And boy, Deuce McBride is in some rhythm, just nailing jump shots all over the place, Monica.
I don't know about you, Wally, but I was like, let that man get 3 more. Don't take him out the game. Don't let him go ahead and break his new career high. His current career high is 9 threes made in the game, and obviously he hit 7 tonight. I really thought it was going to be an opportunity for Deuce to go ahead and get to that 10 mark because he was rolling. I think in the second quarter he hit all 4 that he took. But I think that's a great call out, Wally, because there is not just a learning curve for this team to adjust to the new system, but I think Mike Brown, and he's been very candid with us, it's sort of refreshing, right? Like learning where to put his players in positions to be most successful. And Deuce, to me, we saw this last year, can be that Swiss Army knife. I mean, I still think highly of him for that game back in Cleveland when Jalen Brunson goes out with less than a minute than the game to go, and he comes in and has a monster game. And so the arc of Deuce's story, I think, is one that should not be lost. Second round, G League, earning his keep, and really, really earning the trust of not just his coaching staff, but of this fan base as well.
And it's worth repeating. Deuce McBride is 27 for his last 42 from downtown. And Monica, never in your life did you come close to that.
First of all, Pidto, why you try to throw shade? Because neither have you, so relax.
Jalen Brunson, 6 of 9 from downtown. I mentioned he'd been struggling, only 3 for his last 19 from deep, but tonight he was on it. 33 points, 20 in that third quarter.
Listen, my favorite part of tonight, yes, you could go through a number of stats, and we will watch the highlights back of Jalen Brunson, but I'm looking ahead to Sunday. Fault me for that, but I am. And so for Jalen Brunson to have that efficient line that you just mentioned, Pidto, for me, it's a tune-up, right? Because Sunday's going to be an important matchup. Not only could you potentially see that team again in the Cup, but this is a team that, as Tyler Kolek told us in our radio post-game interview, you want revenge on. You haven't had an opportunity to put an L on the Orlando Magic. So this was a great game for these guys' confidence to see the ball go back in, to be reminded of the work that we put in, of the work that they put in, excuse me. And we know Jalen Brunson saying is the magic is in the work. The work is still working. And hopefully he can show up big and efficient in that way on Sunday as well.
I'm with you. 33 points in 31 minutes. It just seems like the Knicks are on cruise control, especially against this Utah Jazz team at home. I can't wait for that matchup. I'm with you, Monica. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. And I know the Knicks want to repay those Magic for the 2 losses they've already given them this year.
Our Garden Dream sweepstakes remains open for Knicks fans until 11 a.m. on December the 10th. Go to msg.com/GDFNYK to either enter the sweepstakes for a $100 donation for a chance at great prizes or to make any donation to the Garden Dreams. No amount is too small. We're all geared up to help New York area children struggling with serious illness or real financial challenges. We continue now from the corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra, Superior Light Beer. Next up for the Knicks, they're home again. And note the start time. Orlando's in town, 11:30 pregame with a game at noon. And then Tuesday night, Cup quarterfinal game with the Knicks at Toronto, pregame at 8 and the game at 8:30. Let us now listen into Mike Brown's postgame comments, as always, presented by Chase.
I thought our guys did a nice job. They came out. They were locked in defensively, especially to start the game. One of the areas that we've talked about at length in terms of protecting the paint is making sure our shifts were right, especially having a low man. And I thought tonight, for the most part, we were really good with our shifts, especially with the low man, and doing a nice job protecting the paint. They ended up scoring 36 points in the paint for the game. So for us, that's really good. We got to continue to work on that, no matter what the score is or who we're playing. I thought we did a good job of moving the basketball, trying to play with pace. Our spacing, all our offensive staples, I thought were really good. While we tried to do what we needed to do defensively, we fouled a little too much, and we want to try to be physical without fouling, but it is what it is. I like the fact that they shot 40%, and we only gave up 10 offensive rebounds. So that was big for us because that was one of our keys, is trying to keep them off the offensive glass. But at the end of the day, we let our foot off the gas a little bit towards the end of the second quarter. And, I challenged them to start the second half, and our guys came out and responded the right way going into the third. So I take my hat off to everybody on the group, everybody on the team from top to bottom. They did a really nice job collectively. It was a good win for us. Our defensive player of the game was Deuce. Deuce has done a lot the past few days defensively. The one thing that he's been phenomenal at is in pick and roll situations, just 1-2ing into the ball and warring over that screen with the ball, and having that type of impact at the point of our defense has been great. And so he earned it tonight, not just based on the night, but the last few games too.
Mike, the start to this game, to score 23 goals, to hold them without a bucket until well after the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. I mean, I think the record is 9 minutes to hold the team scoreless, and that was back in '87. Just what was working for your defense tonight early to start this game to be able to have that kind of start?
I thought we were doing a good job of protecting the paint, but then we always talk about, hey, if you're in the right shift position defensively, your teammate's going to have your back. So it's never this guy is on an island guarding the ball by himself. It's 5 guys guarding the basketball. Now there's whoever's at the point of the ball needs to do a good job of what our rules are when you're at the point of the ball. But when there's a threat in the paint, whether it's somebody cutting, rolling, or driving, we need to have bodies there to help out, and which we did. But that didn't end it. And then when the ball got sprayed, we rotated the right way. Our rotations were on point. We got the shooters. We contested shots, and then we ended it with a box out. So, and then we got out and we ran. So, we had 5 guys on a string defensively for a while there to start the game.
You guys obviously had a couple of these instances the last couple of games where you build a 20-point lead, and then it whittles down to like 8, 9, or 10. Start that third quarter as 20, and then end of it it's 41. What worked for you guys to kind of expand this lead this time?
Well, the first thing is it's hard in this league to go up 20 if you're fortunate, blessed, lucky, however you want to call it, to go up 20, and then maintain 20 the rest of the game, or push it to 30. It's hard to do that. The teams are talented. They got a lot of young guys. They're playing a lot of young guys, but Will Hardy's a really good coach, an experienced coach, and they got a young team, but they're a talented team, and so they're going to go on a run. They did, and you just getting to a point where you put your foot in the sand and you say, "Hey, no more," and you respond the right way is what I'm looking for, which is what our guys did at the start of the third. So, you expect to run anytime we're up. And just like if we're down, I expect us to go on a run. So it's just the ebb and flow of the game. So I don't have a problem with it. But defensively, we started making sure we were handling our business the right way, and that's what got us the lead again, because we were able to get out and run off those misses.
Specifically with that, I felt like Cat did a really good job of kind of contesting and being in the right spot at the rim early on. Do you feel like he helped set the tone with how you guys were going to play and start this game too?
For sure. Cat he's long, man, and he moves his feet better than what people think. Also, he's got a great feel. He's a smart basketball player, and so when he uses his length the right way, which he's been doing as of late, just wall up and make them shoot over the top of you. And if they make it, great. Just move on to the next play. But when he does that, it helps our paint defense a ton.
Coach, I'm sorry, excuse me.
Cat was getting treatment on his calf in the third quarter. I know the game, he didn't have to go back in. Do you have any update on that? And then also, what did you see with OG tonight?
I did not see Cat getting treatments, and nobody said anything to me. Did they? Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know, but guys that do stuff like that during the course of the game. Like I came back to the huddle, and they were doing something with Mo's knees, and I'm like, Mo, you're 19, your knees are okay. You don't even need Ben Gay on them knees, you know. So it's just, I don't know, but he's fine. What was your second? Oh, it was tough because, you're always worried when you get a big lead. Knock on wood, you don't want anybody to get hurt, but we needed to get OG some game minutes just to work on his conditioning, and I thought he looked good for the time he was out there. I would have loved to get him to 20, 25, 26 minutes, but 22, 23 worked good enough, especially with the way we had the lead tonight.
Coach, sometimes it's when you get a big lead early, natural inclination is to play out of structure, but by and large, you guys stay within structure, maintain your defensive principles. What did you see from the second unit, particularly in the fourth quarter?
I thought everybody was good, especially even the quote-unquote last group with Tyler and Mo and Yabu and Ariel and Jordan was with that group. They were really good trying to play the right way on both ends of the floor, and I applaud them for doing that because, they got to understand that every time they step on the floor, they're auditioning / fighting for minutes. And they need to continue to try to make, my decisions hard. And I thought tonight, that last group on the floor did that.
Gershon Yabusele, by the way, 11 points tonight. Jalen Brunson led the way with 33, including 6 of 9 from downtown. We'll hear from the Knicks captain coming up. Welcome back, everyone. So the Knicks, as we mentioned, 47 points in the third quarter, most in the third quarter in franchise history. They had 115 points through 3 quarters. That breaks a previous franchise record set this season. And 146 points for the Knicks is the most they've scored in regulation since 1980. Wow, wow, and wow. Here now's Alan Hahn with Jalen Brunson.
I'm sure you weren't aware that a 23-0 run to start a game is an NBA record, but what was it like to be part of it?
It's pretty cool. I mean, we were able to get stops, and we were converting in on the other side of the court, and so you're not really thinking about it. You're just going out there and executing, and that's what it turned out to be.
What is it like, though, to be in something like that? I'm sure you've never been part of something like that before.
Yeah, I haven't been part of something like that in a while, but it's pretty unique, but I'm happy that we were able to convert.
And then we've talked about this in the past. You get off to good starts lately and then give it back in the second quarter. Was there something discussed to make sure that didn't happen again tonight?
I mean, we still didn't play our best in the second quarter, but the way we came out in the third and just tried to increase the lead and made up for it. So we still got to get better of continuing on in the second quarter, but happy the way we responded.
How often do you...
Knicks scored 47 in the third quarter, 20 from Jalen Brunson. Jordan Clarkson gives 5 to Ben Stiller. Clarkson, 16 points, as we talked about, against his former team.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
All right, Wally, a couple of big games coming up. Magic in town Sunday. The Knicks are 0-2 against the Magic. 11:30 pregame, noon start right here on MSG. At Toronto, NBA Cup quarterfinal on Tuesday. Pregame here at 8, game at 8:30. With a win, the Knicks advance to the Cup semifinal in Las Vegas on Saturday, December 13th. With a loss, they would play they will play the loser of Miami against Orlando. So whoever loses that game is going to play the loser of the Knicks Toronto. That game, if the Knicks lose, will be here in New York on December 14th or the 15th. That's if the Knicks lose against the Raptors. They'll play the loser of Miami and Orlando. And again, you can watch Sundays and Tuesdays games right here on MSG, and we'll be back with more after this. All right, so since I didn't let you say a single word in the last segment, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm excited. I'm going to Minnesota tomorrow for Wally Rubber Ducky Night, so that's going to be great. I'll bring you back one, I promise.
Okay.
That's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a fun week of basketball coming up, like you said. I mean, I want the Knicks to go to Vegas. Vegas, baby, NBA Cup champs. Let's go. Let's get it done.
Now, for Orlando, Paolo Banchero came back tonight.
Yes.
Remember, he got hurt against the Knicks, hasn't played in a couple, 3 weeks. Back tonight for Orlando, and they're 11-4 in their last 15.
Yep, we see them on Sunday, and then could possibly see them in the Cup in the semis if they beat the Miami Heat. So a lot of Orlando magic, kind of like a playoff series.
All right, so a big couple of games coming up, beginning with Sunday against the Magic. Note the start time. Wally, have fun in Minnesota.
I will.
11:30 a.m. pregame, game at noon on Sunday. Knicks and the Magic. Sunday, you can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports App. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports App. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.